Guys, welcome back to the South Park podcast. And this is season 28, episode 5. It's the season finale. And we finally made it. I'm not going to keep the running joke going. Season 27, episode 10, yada, yada. It is what it is. Anyway. But welcome back, guys. Good to have you back as always. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Nice. Good evening.
Fantastic.
Yep. Hello.
Beautiful. I mean, we might as well just dive straight into this. So, gonna go ahead and shoot you guys the first question, and some of these came from Sibrin, so shout out to you for that. So, the first episode is called "The Crap Out." So, you would naturally assume that Mr. Hankey is gonna be involved, but in spite of Mr. Hankey not being part of it, do you guys think this was on purpose? And I'll go ahead to you first, Sibrin. What are your thoughts, man?
I do think that the creators basically kind of trolled us into believing this would be another Mr. Hankey episode because the creators they knew well enough that us the viewers were expecting a Christmas special and Mr. Hankey is a Christmas poo. So there's that's an obvious connection there that this would have probably been a Mr. Hankey episode, but it did not turn out to be that way. Grab out did have another meaning in the episode, so it's not like the name of the episode doesn't make sense now. But I do think this was a troll on us, the viewers.
Honestly, I think you're right. And even in my reaction, I was caught out. And there was even a scene where, yeah, literally, it's on the screen now where Stan is looking down the toilet and it's like, who else is going to come besides Mr. Hankey? But of course, we know there was a swerve. But Ryan, bro, do you have any further comments you could add in regards to the question we've just asked?
Oh yeah, well I've seen this sort of thing before with Stan. I remember once this happened with Free Isn't Free, where he tries to sort of, in a way, pray to a higher power and then get someone else in return. And
What was the
something really
example,
set up.
if you don't mind bringing it up?
Oh, that was when he was praying to God for advice over his addiction to well, it was a gambling addiction effectively.
Yeah.
And then while he was praying for that higher power, out of nowhere Satan appeared to help him out. He's like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's true. And then he had a fight with a Canadian devil, I believe.
And
It was crazy.
indeed. And now this time he's dealing with someone much, much worse than Satan.
Is it
In South Park standards.
who he who shall not be named, or shall you name him?
Well, they
They.
shall not be named.
Fair enough, my friend. And Florian, what are your thoughts, man?
I mean, I actually didn't make the connection to Mr. Hankey.
Did you
until
not?
the scene with the toilet. I mean, only when the toilet scene happened, when Stan was talking down the toilet, I was like, oh, okay, sure. He's summoning Mr. Hankey.
Right.
I didn't get the connection just from the title. And then basically very early they make the reference that the crap out is referencing the butt baby. And that was just, yeah. I didn't consider Mr. Hankey even after that one. I only when the toilet scene came up again, I was like, all right, then.
We're the same there,
Mr.
Florian.
Hankey. And then, of course, it wasn't Mr. Hankey, but instead
yeah. Right, we're the same in that line of thinking. I hadn't made the connection even from the title alone. It was more so when, he's getting to the toilet, asking for miracles and stuff like that. I'm like, maybe. But it was a swerve, man. And the swerve, in fact, takes us into the next question. And the following question is, the Woodland critters are back. Did you enjoy the return? I'll go straight to you, Florian, bro. Was it a pleasant surprise to see these guys back?
I mean, yeah, I guess it was.
Did you have a shocked reaction?
A fun little notch. Yeah, I think it was nice, but on the other hand, they didn't really do anything other than like stand around and say a couple of lines. So I maybe it was a little bit of a, not saying a waste, but it was just a little reference, I guess.
What would you have liked them to do, I guess, is the question. Would you like them to have killed some people? Would that have been welcomed?
I don't mind. No, I think it's fine as it is. Like they didn't have to do anything. It's just like nice that they were there.
Right.
And the episode was overall like it worked well. So I don't mind that they didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's not like that. Yeah, I agree with that. And Ryan, what are your thoughts, man? Are you happy that the guys are back? The critters are back.
Oh, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about these guys returning. It was definitely an eye-opening moment. Exciting, of course, for entertainment purposes. I was very excited to see their return. What else would I say about them? I mean, it's been a very long time since I remember seeing them.
Do you recall the last time we've seen them?
Oh,
It was the
well, yeah.
Imagination trilogy.
I was thinking that, but I was like,
I've seen it have to go that far. I was quite
Jeez.
certain it would be that far, which means it's almost been 20 years, about 18 years.
18. That came out in the early 2000s.
Mid-2000s, but yeah.
Holy crap. Holy crap out. Crazy.
Holy crap out. This has been a very long time. Although I feel like that's been a thing with this season. I feel like the rest of the world, this season overall has been trying to tap in a little bit of nostalgia.
Right.
So many random little references to very old South Park. And oh, hold on, let's do that. And yeah, I was excited. I have some views on how I felt about the Christmas critters in the episode overall.
Yeah, you can elaborate now since it's the question.
Right,
Did you enjoy the return?
I did enjoy the return. I did enjoy the use in the story. Although I did have a lingering feeling throughout that they weren't necessarily downplayed, but they might have been underused.
Right, so similar to Florian's thoughts you share.
Absolutely, because my brain was going, yeah, I do like seeing these guys, and they're certainly what they are. But for new viewers who aren't 100% familiar who these guys are, they did not get the best idea of how seriously messed up these little guys are from this episode. I'd like to remind people, these are little critters who, once upon a time during, wanted to have strawberry shortcake raped and her eye pulled out, in which they would then rape the eye socket and use her blood as lubricant, and then get someone to pee with AIDS to pee in her eye socket. That's pretty messed up, and that's something I don't think was reflected in this.
I completely forgot about that, and when you put it in that level of detail, it's like, yo, these guys really are messed up. Holy crap! And you're right. A lot of new viewers would have had no idea what these guys are like. Just like, oh, look at these cute little with their little voices. Fair enough, man. Anything further to add before I push on to see Brenito?
Well, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say in general that I really also enjoyed the fact that throughout the entirety of season 27/28, we've come up with a lot of random gibberish at the end of our discussions that have somehow came very true by this episode, and I believe this was one. It escapes me who first came up with the theory that these guys would make an appearance.
It was one of us.
Off the top of my head right now.
I don't know who either.
It's quite spot on. Whoever it is can call themselves out if they remember.
We're in tune with the show. Awesome, man.
I mean, it was. I mean, they were introduced in a story where it literally was about bring to life the Antichrist, which is like Satan's baby, I guess, in a way.
Right.
It was.
Oh, I suppose their return is fitting then.
To make.
Right. 100%. And to yourself,
I can even see it going the other way. That basically, as the Satan baby storyline dragged on, people were like suggesting that the Christmas critter might get involved, and maybe Matt and Trey, saw the feedback and like, all right, let's throw them in the last episode.
Right.
Just as fan service, I guess.
I mean, it does make sense, considering what did you say the last time they showed up, it was in regards to like bringing forth the Antichrist? So I guess these two
that was the first episode of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so I suppose it the connection with them coming back now with the new do we refer to this as the new Antichrist, the butt baby? I guess it makes a ton of sense, right? Nice. And to yourself, Sibrin, man, did you enjoy their return?
I did admire seeing them back, as the Woodland Critters episode was one of the most enjoyably unhinged episodes of the whole show. But I would have liked to see them do like them. I would have liked to see them cause another satanic scene in this episode, which they didn't do. They were just kind of there. But I also think they almost couldn't not be in this episode, as first of all, once again, we were all expecting this to be a Christmas episode, and the the Antichrist was mentioned like many times in the 6-7 episode because of Peter Thiel. So I kind of feel like the Woodland Critters were almost completely bound to be in this episode. I even called it, like I even predicted it in our chat earlier, and
Nice.
I was like pretty certain on my prediction, but I also didn't want to like completely call it already. But yeah, I was pretty certain that the Woodland Critters would at least be mentioned in this episode, and even though I liked their executions a lot better in the Woodland Critters episode, I did really like them here again.
Yeah, I agree, man. I like the appearance as well, but I also share the same line of thinking in regards to I think they should have done more with them, but I was so overwhelmed with the fact that they were there that I didn't complain about that too much. But looking back, I'm like, yeah, I suppose they could have done some sick shit for me to enjoy. But I don't know what that says a lot about us, but it is what it is.
And
Nice.
the show's making us want little woodland critters to do some sick shit and want Satan just to have a happy ending.
I know, right?
Strange show.
Phenomenal writing from the guys. Phenomenal. But how did they leave the episode? Did they like similar to how they kind of just spawned? Did they end up vanishing again, or were they there at the end of the episode? I can't recall. Does anyone know?
They did it. They just. I think their last scene was in the hospital when the doctor announced that the baby killed
Yeah.
themselves, and yeah, that was the last scene. That was the last scene of the Woodland Critters. We didn't see them leave or vanish.
Right. Would it be too, I don't know what the word would be, but wanting too much or assuming that they might be in the following episode given that they didn't officially announce their departure?
I think so.
I
think they just
yeah.
just threw them in here as a joke, and the next South Park episode will be quieter in the future, and it won't be Christmas anymore, so it might not even be in continuation at all. So
right, you know what? I was wishfully thinking, but I think I knew the answer myself there, man. And I agree with you, Florian. Highly unlikely we'll see them again, but it was cool to see them, man. It was cool to see them. But I suppose we could just segue into the following question here. And this is one where it might seem obvious, but we'll go around and see what your thoughts are, guys. None of the adults in town recognize Trump or Vance in their Christmas outfits. And this is the part. Are they clueless? Ryan, are they clueless?
Are they clueless?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I do know what you're saying, and my brain sort of just goes, yeah, I don't know. This is. I'm not surprised.
are they pretty good
For the
disguises?
the plot of the show. It's not even a question I would have come up with myself. But I get it.
Because Peter Thiel recognizes them, everyone else.
But no,
Is everyone's IQ on the level of
Okay.
Pete Hegseth? Sorry.
Yeah, Pete Hegseth definitely doesn't. Peter Thiel is on board in some way. But I'm not too sure. What everyone else's line of thinking is. Clearly, obviously, they wouldn't think of the president of the United States. They just think it's just a simple Santa Claus, and leave
Yeah,
it at that.
I suppose we could say in a way they are clueless. I guess. I don't know.
I would like whoever wrote this question, please. I would like more of an elaboration on this because I hope you have a better answer than I would here.
Should we,
Really, I'll be saying yes.
I mean, I wrote them all, so I will
we
elaborate.
we can come to you at the end, Zibran. We'll get Florian's thoughts first, and then we'll come to you. Florian, what do you think, man? These guys just a bunch of clueless dumbasses, not recognizing their president.
I mean, you can see it this way, or you can just, he's wearing a mustache. Like, this is a good disguise.
Pretty
There's
decent,
no way you can tell it's him.
right?
But I think it's a very South Park thing to do. I mean, let's not forget that Yates, our police chief, was just wearing a dress, and
Yeah.
everybody thought he was like a prostitute, and they had sex with him, even though he still had his mustache
And the hairy
So-
legs. Yeah, good point, man.
Yeah.
Trying to tell wait. Are you trying to tell me that Yolanda was Harrison Yates?
What in the world?
Yeah.
That's a
So,
perfect
I don't-
example.
Yeah, it seems like something that South Park sometimes just does when the plot requires it.
Right.
Trump has to go unnoticed, so he goes unnoticed. No big deal, I guess.
Right. And even
I
myself.
wouldn't say that everybody is stupid for that reason. It's just
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting? Because myself as the viewer as well, I was able to bypass it and just because they explained it. They're like, they've got a disguise. This is how they get in, and that's it. And I didn't even think about it too much as well. It's just kind of like, oh, I guess it is what it is.
I'm just looking at Vance's outfit, and it's just JD Vance wearing it.
That one, I
outfit,
suppose.
not
Yeah.
disguise.
It's a good question to ask. So we'll come to Sibran, and Sibran, what are your thoughts, man?
Well, at this point, I'm not in the least surprised that the adults are this dumb to not recognize them. I think if any of the kids would have seen Trump or Vance like this, I think they would have instantly been able to tell it was them. But however, if this like back in the earlier seasons of South Park when the kids act a lot more like 10-year-old kids, I don't think they would have recognized them because in one of the older episodes, the one with Barbara Streisand, she was also wearing a fake mustache, and she was wearing glasses, and the boys didn't recognize her, despite the very subtle disguise.
Right.
But because the boys are not really acting that much like 10-year-olds anymore, and more like level-headed adolescents.
Right.
I think they would have been able to tell it was Trump and Vance just as much as we did. We like smart individuals.
Just to put it there as well with that train of thought, when they come into the hospital, does Stan realize them, or does he just affiliate them because Peter Thiel and Hegseth are there, so he just assumes that it's Vance and Trump with him as well? I don't know if they still had their costumes. Oh, he took it off. I just briefly seen them in the elevator.
Also, at one point, Jesus comes basically flying in. He says, "Here, leave my president alone." At this point, it should be clear to everybody that's the president.
Right. Yeah. Right, and even here, to be fair, he's taken off his mustache and thingy. And also, when he first shows up, right, he I suppose like what you just said there, he said, "My president." It's gone. Sorry, Ryan, you were trying to get some words in there.
No, I was just gonna say, it is remarkable how easy it is to trick the adults. Certainly more so than the children in this little world. Because I'm just suddenly reminded of when Cartman dressed up as Gordon Ramsay.
Oh yeah.
In a much earlier episode, Creme Fraiche, and
oh yeah. Even Randy believed
and how
it.
I know
or even Rand.
obviously Stan saw right through it as just really stupid, and then immediately Stan believed it, but not sorry, Randy believed it. But it
Yeah,
wasn't just Randy that believed it. The whole demographic of people must have believed it because there was the whole cook off.
that's a good episode actually. That's funny. That's a good example as well. They did. So yeah, it's just the South Park thing I think we can allude to. And but actually, Sibin, would you say they're clueless then? Just to finish it off. Is that a yes?
Well, this is just an average South Park adult thing. Like it has happened time and time again that the kids have better logic than the adults, and I mean the kids might also not have been able to recognize them in their Christmas outfits, but I'm mostly certain they would have. Yeah, but like neither the police officers and neither Mr. Maki were able to tell that it was just the president and vice president of their very country.
True. Yeah. True.
Just one small counterexample, though. Neither of the kids recognized that Randy was Lord until they were
Oh
told.
yeah. Oh
Yes.
my god, with the stash on, innit? He still had the mustache, right?
Yes.
As Lord. Oh my.
Also not the most brilliant disguise, but yeah, this even fooled the kids.
Right. Okay. So when like you said, Florian, when the plot requires it, we just we just go with it. It's fine. I mean, I can look past it. All right. Cool. Interesting topic of discussion there. Very interesting. But us moving forward and the picture we're looking at actually perfect because the baby story finally came to an end. And was it worth the wait with how it unfolded? Because there was a few references there, and shout out to the Patreon member who pointed out that when they were looking at the babies, what's the name of the scan they do?
Ultrasound.
The ultrasound. There was clips missing, and then the baby ended up hanging itself. And they pointed out that it was a reference to the island guy, Mr. Epstein. So there was even more references in there, which is very fascinating. But
Was it?
I'll come to you first, Florian. And was it worth the wait with how it unfolded?
All right.
In your
I'm not
eyes.
sure if it was worth the wait, but I think it was a brilliant conclusion to the storyline.
Right.
I think it was always like I was always wondering how they like basically get out of that, and if something is born, what will it be? Who will it be? I mean, we discussed it at length in the
We did.
earlier episode.
This
So
is
yeah,
one of
that
our
was
prophecies.
always an open question, and I really like the solution they came up with.
Dude, please share how you enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, because you said the Patreon member pointed out that this was a Epstein. Yeah, it was very obviously that.
I was so annoyed.
I didn't think that needed even pointing out, but yeah, because it's exactly what basically happened to him. It's now happening to the baby,
Right.
which also brings me to a point that I made earlier in your chat this week. Is yeah, basically the whole Satan pregnancy was about the Epstein files all along, because everybody was waiting for the baby to come out, just like everybody's waiting for the files to come out.
You just blew my mind.
And then basically right at the end, when you would think, oh yeah, now it has to come out, like just with Epstein, basically they had him caught, and like a lot of people thought he was gonna confess and like implicate a lot of people in the crimes, and then he just hung himself spontaneously.
You just blew my mind, bro.
And yeah, so it basically, yeah, the same is happening now to like Trump's baby, the Epstein files. Basically, just that when we thought like it's coming out, nope, Trump gets away with it again.
And he's good doing his dance as well. What was he saying?
Yeah,
I win
like
again.
I mean, Trump basically gets away with it, just like he got away with basically being implicated by Epstein himself.
Right. That is, I think that is brilliant if you are aware of the reference. So I'll pose the question, would you say the majority of South Park viewers would have been aware of this, you could say, hidden ongoing thing that they had in substituting the baby's reveal with the Epstein files? So, yeah, would you say that the majority of fans would have correlated the two? And if not, does that mean they wouldn't have enjoyed it as much?
I only figured it out in this episode when basically they made the specific joke with the baby and make the direct comparison. I didn't figure it out before, but now it makes like a lot of sense.
It does. It really does, man. Because I feel like some fans would have shared my frustrations in saying, if you don't know what's going on with Epstein and all that, you might just think it's just random. What, the baby just hung itself? Is that all you've been building towards? What?
Honestly, if you didn't get that reference, then you're either maybe you're living too much under a rock to watch South Park, because that is really a hard reference to miss.
Well, the Epstein one.
Sorry, I'm not a personal attack on you.
It just leads me to wonder if the majority of people know about that or even care to be interested in that topic.
There are layers. There are layers to this.
There are, isn't there? Because I feel like some people would have maybe missed it as well, and then would have been I don't know, frustrated, just maybe underwhelmed with the conclusion. But I think with knowing, obviously with the Epstein stuff, you'd be like, oh, brilliant, the goats, But
yeah.
But interesting nevertheless. Ryan, my friend. Actually, I'll go to Sibrin and we'll finish off with you, Ryan.
Okay.
Sibrin, bro. Was it worth the wait? How it unfolded, Mr. Satan and Trump's baby? What are your thoughts?
So seeing that this was a build-up of 6 episodes in total, because the baby having a Satan, the Satan having a baby that started out in the 4th episode of season 27 in the Labubu episodes, and so initially I would have preferred it if the baby would have become a new character in the show. Maybe the baby would have been a Damien lookalike, and he would have maybe not been part of the show itself, but maybe Satan would have gone home again to hell along with his baby, and leave Trump, and just Satan can be happy with his baby.
I would have liked that.
Yeah, that then I would have been like, then everybody would have been very happy for Satan, because Satan has gone through so much in these past 2 seasons, but instead he couldn't even have the happiness of having his baby. Like when I first heard that the baby just didn't get born, I was like, seriously? But then when I saw that this was a clever reference to Epstein hanging himself in his jail cell like 6 years ago, I think they did actually a nice approach with this.
Right. So would you say you're satisfied?
Okay. Actually, yeah. It's they did it they ended it in a creative way. Yeah, they didn't like. I wouldn't say that they gave us the middle finger by just announcing like, yeah, the baby is not happening. Haha,
Right.
you got fooled. No, like I mean, if you really wanted the baby to be, yeah, like if you really wanted to know what the baby would have looked like, then yeah, maybe you are now disappointed in Madden today. But like, come on, it's a pretty good joke at the whole Epstein controversy.
I agree, man. I agree, and it's interesting you say that. If you wanted the baby to come, then you would naturally be disappointed. But in context to obviously Epstein and all that stuff, it's brilliantly unfolded and well told. So interesting. I should probably do a poll on this just to see where everyone's head at. I think I will do, and then I'll put it back in the group chat and we can have a look to see what the people think. The question will be along the lines of, would you guys have preferred if the baby was here, or are you satisfied with how the season ended? But nice. Thank you for sharing your thoughts there, Sibrin. And Ryan, what are your thoughts, man? Was it worth the wait? How it unfolded for yourself?
Was it worth the wait? Well, I must say, certainly wasn't what I was hoping for Christmas. But I will say that when I first saw the episode, it certainly wasn't something I was expecting. I don't know many people who were expecting this. I think this would be quite I think it was a very cleverly implemented if it was a thing that was to be built on. I did instantly get it though. I remember as soon as at first I thought it was just gonna get weirdly sad, like like they lost the baby, like it was gonna be like a oh no, like a
Right.
miscarriage sort of dealio. And then it explained how the baby died, and it showed, and there it is, it's perfectly fine, and it just cuts out for a little bit, and there he is hanging. I instantly just covered my mouth because I was like, oh, this is what this is. So now at that point I was like, oh, that's so funny and dark.
Yeah, dark,
But
man. Oh my
my
gosh.
brain went. But no, it's true. There are layers to this, as I previously mentioned. I think a lot of people who are completely out of the loop from the Epstein files, and I do believe there are a lot of South Park fans that are, because it's a huge fandom.
Mhm.
Trust me, I'm in the South Park in this official South Park server. You'll know a lot of people who are massive South Park fans, but may surprise you, have very little to no social political knowledge when it comes to like what's going on in current events at all. Perhaps because it's just not in their circle. It's not. It's maybe they're whatever it is. Their interests have different interests. Maybe they're a significantly younger person
Mhm.
who's just vaguely aware of Epstein as a name, but nothing about them because people keep mentioning them. So I do think this would be so out of the blue if you have no idea what this was referencing, because it's just like
Yeah,
I can't even imagine, because I'm someone who already only knew what this was referencing. So
that was me
to, to
initially.
make- to think what this would have been like if you didn't know what this was referencing, it's like, what that? Well, this really is a crap out, isn't it? You would have felt.
Yeah,
But
but
I can see how this would be disappointing to a lot of people, especially people in the fandom, because I know that a lot of people were anticipating over what he will look like, or
Mhm.
we will not know. But yeah, I still, nonetheless, I'm content with how it ended,
That's fair.
because it reminded me that, oh yeah, this is South Park. It isn't Full House. It isn't some sort of like little show that you can use. You can use slice of life here or there, but at the end of the day, at the end of the day, I should say, it is a funny show with some dark humor laced in, and probably always will be.
Right. I think being content is fair, man. It's fair because at least we can still see the brilliance in what they were doing, even if it might not have been what we wanted the conclusion to actually be individually. But yeah, I mean, it's brilliant. I would definitely say. I think initially myself, I was conflicted because I was sad for Satan at the same time, but the reference, I just didn't even want to acknowledge it. You know what I mean? Just like fuck this, Satan's baby's gone. I wanted to see what it looked like, and I'm just sad for him. And for that, you know, they've done a great job in making myself sympathize and others for Satan. You know, it takes skill to do that. So shout out to the South
I'm
Park gang. Shout out.
I am just looking at this sonogram image of the hanging baby right now, and for some reason, I don't know what's wrong with my brain. I'm looking at that and going, "This could be a really cool but edgy album cover," but it probably would get banned.
It just needs the sign, the explicit
This
content.
is deep, man. It's deep.
That is brilliant. I've seen a meme when people say anything can be an album cover, but this is the epitome of it. That's solid. That's solid. I suppose I'll slide right back to you, Ryan, since the thoughts are fresh in your mind. Um, obviously we
No,
know that.
let's not move on yet.
Sorry, yeah. Go ahead and share your thoughts,
I don't.
Florian.
No.
I don't. Yeah,
Well, I don't think
I
we're
still
moving
have
on.
something for the last point.
Yeah, please go ahead, man.
Yeah, Ryan actually kind of mentioned it. And we talked earlier about how the title "Crap Out" obviously was a reference to Satan's butt baby and the birth of this. But you know, it's also the crap out is also like has the meaning of like, you know, a sloppy ending of like you kind of throw
Oh
in the
no,
towel.
Nice.
Something like that.
That's a good
You
correlation.
know that better.
Yeah.
Which is like kind of a self-reference to the this storyline, because it kind of feels they hyped it up and then it just, oh, it killed itself, it's over. It
Dude.
feels like a little bit of a crap out ending. And they even referenced that more specifically when they said, oh, it's taking the easy way out.
Mhm.
Which also feels
The
like
crap out.
Matt and Trey saying, talking about themselves, like, yeah, we kind of hyped this up this storyline, and now we just, took the easy way out and just said, oh, it killed itself.
Right, dude.
Maybe some commentary on their own writing here.
I think you're right, because in hindsight, this the title of the episode can go in so many ways, and you yourself have just presented a few correlations and connections that could have to the ending. So it's a really good title. That's brilliant, and also it being the season finale. Crap up this.
There's a lot of underlining commentary on their own writing in this episode. I don't know if I've seen themselves this critical of their own writing in quite a long time.
They did well though. I think they did well, man.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
They seem to be quite of the assumption by design that, yeah, we're just gonna do this, and we're gonna be very self-aware of it and constantly bring it up.
Right. South Park. Right. Awesome, man. And before I do proceed, I think I'll try to do my best to mention this before we move on with every topic. But any further thoughts before we push on? We good?
I've said my piece.
Fantastic. So Satan found everything out, and this is the question I was bringing up, and is leaving Trump for good. And of course, they no longer have the tie that was binding them together, which I believe was the baby. Is that correct, guys? Remember,
he generally realized that Trump is actually a really, really bad person. I don't know why it took him so long.
This is what I'm saying. Do you guys?
Everything was the last straw.
No, did you not recall there was an episode? I think it was the Labubu one, where someone questioned Satan. Is like, why don't you just leave him? Or it was Jesus who mentioned it. It was like they're tied together for some reason.
Yeah.
Was it the baby? I was just
yes,
trying to.
It was the baby. Yes.
Right. Okay.
That baby.
Right. Okay. And
because he's pregnant, basically. Yeah.
And with him now being not having the baby, how bad do we feel for Satan? How bad do you feel for him, Ryan? How bad do you feel for him, bro?
It was.
Do you give a shit? You okay?
I want to say, but no, I do. I'm gonna say some really weird stuff out of context, and especially 'tis the season. But we really do root for Satan here, only in South Park. And every time we see him in this sort of predicament, it really does make us sigh. I mean, I'm an older school South Park fan. One of my first exposures to South Park was the South Park movie. That was a very big element to the plot. Satan's toxic love affair with Saddam, and how it was the relief at the end of how that movie ends. Maybe I won't spoil that for some people who. Well, what's the point? This is we spoil things all the time here. But so sorry,
Put a disclaimer.
Things go well for him at the end of that, and it leaves him there. But yeah, he needs to. I think he needs to remind himself how his little bit of wisdom parted to him in I think it was Do the Handicaps Go to Hell? And probably. I think that's what the episodes. He needs to remind himself. He just needs to focus on himself again. He needs to remind himself that he doesn't need to rely on these scumbag individuals just in his tragic pursuit for love.
Scumbag bastards.
Yeah.
I wonder who will be next for him then. Be interesting. But yeah, I suppose you feel bad for Satan. That makes two of us, my friend. And yeah. Sibrin, do you share the same thoughts, or fuck Satan, bro? Fuck that baby.
Well, Satan, he's just so unlucky when it comes to his lovers. Like it didn't work out with Saddam Hussein. It didn't work out with Chris. And now it has also not worked out with Donald Trump. And yes, we are disregarding the fact that Saddam Hussein and Donald Trump are essentially the same character in terms of personality.
Yeah.
That was a weird sentence, but I agree.
100%. So you yourself as an individual, would you say that you feel sorry for him then? Given the given the situation
Well,
is, you know.
well, Satan, he, like in the beginning of South Park, Satan actually lived up to his role of being evil, but in in many instances throughout all of South Park, Satan has shown that he is
He's got
like
feelings.
yes, he has redeemed himself many times, like when he fought Man Bear Big, and and ironically went to heaven after getting demolished by Man Bear Pig.
It's really just
Crazy
a
how he
job
lost
for
that
him.
fight.
Yeah.
What did you say, Ryan?
It really is just a job for him being the Prince of Darkness because,
Mm.
I mean, just if, again a reference to the movie, just remember the song "Up There" when he's singing
Yes.
to himself. He explains that he doesn't really have it in him, in his heart, to be this evil figure, but he knows his place,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's something he's reluctant to do. And see, he's a professional, but he would otherwise want to be doing other things with his life, like going on a gay cruise.
Right.
I don't know.
He has things going on, Satan. He's a multi-layered being, multi-layered character. I suppose that's why we connect with him so much, isn't it? Or in feeling sorry for him, you could say. So Siren, did you say that you feel sorry for him? Did you conclude by saying that, or?
Yeah, yeah, I I felt bad for him. Like you would think that with all this build up of Satan being treated so poorly by DJT, that he would finally get a happy ending, or at least more positive ending than a negative one. But no, that didn't really end up being the case. He couldn't even return to hell with his baby, and
Damn.
like be a single dad. No, not even that could have happened. And yeah, I mean they did Satan like quite sturdy, but like not necessarily in a way that I now dislike the episode, because we have had many episodes where they did Butters very dirty, and yet a lot of those episodes are like it or like very hilarious
Mm-hmm.
in the way they are doing Butter so dirty.
Right. No, 100%, man. And I think the picture that we have up currently is perfect, man. You know, leaving a broken house, essentially, you could say, to return somewhere with a Gucci on.
Literally.
We see the fit, Satan. We see it. But Florian, my friend, do you share the same sentiment?
Yeah, in general, yeah, Satan is a very likable character in South Park. And also, Seben was just mentioning that, like in the early South Park, that Satan was actually evil. Or I kind of disagree. I don't think he was evil ever. Like, I think the most evil thing he did was scam the town of South Park by like fixing the boxing match between him and Jesus, which
Very
is,
first
I
appearance.
mean, yeah, this is literally the most evil thing he did. I guess yes, he was trying to take over the world in the movie, but like this is because of the prophecy, and like he wasn't the one that was executing Terrence and Philip. So and yeah, then there was the song that basically explained, hey, he just wants to live on the surface. He's not even that interested in like dominating the world and like you know. So yeah, I don't think he was ever really written as an evil character. Um, and that is basically the point of him in South Park. He was always like the juxtaposition of literally having Satan in the show, but he's actually kind of a good guy.
He's pretty chill. Pretty chill.
Yeah. Um, yeah, and yeah, he also was like always basically contrasted by Saddam Hussein, who was actually evil, and he was the one that was gonna take over the world for malicious reason, or wants to take over Canada, whatever. Um, yeah, so and I think maybe that is also the reason they put him in this last season or two. But because like now that I think about it, most of the bad stuff we see Trump doing that makes him like unsympathetic is towards Satan. He's like a really abusive boyfriend, and that's really what makes Trump that unlikable in these episodes.
Right.
They don't really go into his policy decision and how, like, his actual policies ruining people's life in reality. I mean, they kind of go with like ICE raids and that kind of stuff. But like most of the time, we see him abusing Satan, which is, I
Yes.
don't know, an interesting thought. Just
Suppose
he's
that.
basically the good guy contrast to Trump.
Yeah, I was gonna say it fuels the fire more for us to be more sympathetic towards him, isn't it? As well. But yeah, poor guy, man. Interesting to see how things unfold going forward. With this cliffhanger, if you would. I think it's a pretty good cliffhanger, though, isn't it? I think anyway. But hopefully, we'll see him again. I would like to see how the story unfolds. But interesting. Poor Satan. See you again soon, bro. But interesting because none of this would have essentially, well, it would have panned out. I'm basically trying to segue towards Towelie having helped Satan, right? So Towelie has escaped at last. Do you think there's a few questions there? Do you think he'll forgive Randy? Because Randy essentially is the reason he's there. And this is also another question. Cousin Kyle still locked up? Is he still did we discuss this, by the way? In regards to Cousin Kyle?
We did it in an earlier episode.
Well,
He's been in jail for a while.
We discussed it in the episode he was in.
In the actual episode, because I'm just thinking, is it still going to be bust out? I think we'll leave that for now, because I think we did slightly elaborate in regards to speculations whether he'll be taken out of prison or if someone's going to help him. I think if he was referencing this episode, we could have dived a bit deeper, but we'll focus on Towelie. So yeah, Towelie has escaped at last. Do you think he'll forgive Randy? And Sibrin, we'll start off with you, bro. What do you think, man? You think he's gonna forgive Randy? And are you happy that he's out? You happy Towlie's free, smoking his weed, doing his drugs?
Yes. I'm glad at least Towelie got the happy endings, quotation marks, and that is him finally being back in South Park. But so so him and Randy are already not going to be a duo again because the Degrady saga is over anyway. It was because of Degrady that Randy and Towelie even had any kind of dynamic at all.
Right.
But yeah, but like whether he would like still forgive him or not, I think I could picture
For some weed or something?
Towelie. Huh?
For some drugs?
No. I think like Towelie he is like generally good-hearted, so I think he would be able to forgive Randy, but I think just because he'll forgive him doesn't mean he will want to be friends with Randy again.
Right. I could see them fighting, or I could see, because Towelie does get pissed off sometimes, doesn't he? I could see him attacking
Yes,
Randy.
he has attacked. Has he attacked Randy before? I don't think so, but
They might have had a
but
fight, maybe.
but I do remember that he did snap at Randy at one point in the Degrady season.
Right. But it could pan out a lot of different ways. I'm hoping that they do have a reunion. I would assume that they would do, for the sake of the plot. But interesting. So what do you think you'll forgive him? Is that what you essentially concluded to?
Mm, I would assume so, but on the other hand, I also wouldn't be surprised that Towelie would be completely fuming the moment he sees Randy again, and then he would be screaming like Randy in his
Yeah.
very high Towelie voice.
Right. I'll add this on top of the question for the other guys as well. If you're in his shoes, would you forgive Randy? I was saying I'll add this on top for the other guys, so I will just conclude with Sibrin. If you were in Towlie's shoes, Sibrin, would you forgive Randy as well?
are you first asking me that question or the?
Yeah, I just said your
Yes.
name. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was confused. No, I mean, if I were Towelie, I not only would I not forgive him, I would throw myself onto Randy's face. Like that would be like that would be the least I would do if I
Right.
were Towelie. And uh, uh, but maybe I would even go more extreme than that, and maybe bu- burn down Randy's house, so that Stan has to leave his house yet again.
That is
But
crazy.
okay, yeah, okay, no, but knowing how much Stan loves his old house, I will not do that. But Towelie obviously isn't aware of that. So, yeah.
That's fair enough. That's completely fair. That's hilarious as well, burning his house down. And yourself, Ryan, do you think
Oh, right.
yeah, do you think you'll forgive Randy? And if you were in his shoes, would you forgive Randy as well?
Well, first I'll mention about Towelie escaping at last in general. Yeah. This is again another one of those. It's another one of our little prophecies, isn't it? I think this might have been an older Florian one who felt like, where it was like, oh yes, eventually Towlie's going to be in the background. He's going to be the one to save the day, and that actually did sort of happen a
It
lot in
did.
this one.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true, bro.
So it was great that this also happened again. He's now finally free from his terrible, terrible ordeal.
Yeah, man.
Do I think he'll forgive and Randy? I think with time, to some degree, he will forgive, but you never forget. And I hope that maybe Towelie will forget if he gets high enough. But I do think
Wow.
I do think hopefully I don't know. I hope there's at least a little bit of resentment and bitterness. It's not something you really want to hope for as any person, but as a character in a show, you kind of want to see where that pans out.
Yeah, consequences for actions, right?
Yeah, you want to see what those consequences will be.
Right.
You want to see that would be an interesting idea. So I kind of do. Will he? Although, do I want him to? Well, that's a tricky one. I mean, I can't really say with a character like Towelie
Right.
because he is a bit. He's the expression would be a little bit flaky. He's a little bit. Oh, he just goes with it.
Goes with the flow, innit?
Most of the
Then I suppose if you were in his shoes, what would you do then?
If I was
You
in
burning
his
the house
shoes,
down as
what
well?
would I do? Um, I don't know if I would burn the Marshal's house down.
Because we got to remember here, just putting it in context, you were a jizz covered towel for a long
Yeah,
time. Yeah, you've been set
yeah.
free. What are you doing? You know.
Wouldn't be the first time. No.
Oh
You get
Um,
high.
what I would say is
that's crazy.
I would say I probably would definitely cold shoulder him. It would definitely be dead to me in some way
100%.
for what he did. That was a big time betrayal. Don't know if I would just ruin his family's like home for it, even just to get back at him. But I definitely would never want to associate with him again.
Right, understandably. I suppose that's the more tame side of it. It's like forgive and forget. You know. Fair enough, man. And to finish off with yourself, Florian, what are your thoughts, man? Cowley's back, bro. You know. You think
Yes.
you'll forgive Randy?
I don't even care so much about the Towelie-Randy relationship. I'll get to that later. I think the first thing about the Towelie like just being in the White House, which I think is like I guess a little bit my head canon. But I was thinking, why didn't Towelie just leave? Because when I'm not sure if it was his introduction episode, but like the Okama Games Fair episode where they cover a little bit of his background. He was in a high security research facility, and one day he just kind of wandered off. Then he was like in a military facility, and one day he just kind of wandered off. So I was thinking, couldn't Towelie get? Is the reason he couldn't get out of the White House is that he was literally so crusted up with
I
jizz
think
that
that's
he
it.
couldn't move
I think that's it. Yeah.
because it's kind of like he looks very stiff in the scene where Satan puts him in the sink, and then he, as soon as he gets wet, he kind of like can move again, which is like, is that actually the
I think
canon
it is.
explanation? He
Yeah.
couldn't move because he was so dried up in,
Look at him, yeah.
yeah,
And
that's kind of funny, yeah.
even in the imagery there, he's like
Yeah.
getting his
And then
movement
now
back.
he can move again, yeah. So I thought that was like kind of a funny joke.
I think
Maybe
if,
I'm thinking too much into it.
no, that's fair because I think if he hadn't been all crusted up and then he was just there lurking around in the White House, that would be 100% justified. Because if he can do that at maximum security prisons, then why the hell can't he do it here? But I think this is maybe a good cover up for that because he's moving now after being wetted up. If you
Yeah,
would.
I thought it was a fun little detail.
It is.
But yeah, he obviously saved the day by like telling Satan about everything that has been going on with Trump and Vance. Yeah, now he's out. I think he's with Satan for now. Yeah, but it will be interesting to see what we do, what they do with him from now on. I guess in regards to his relationship with Randy, I'm not sure that they had such a great relationship. I mean, yes, it was mostly in the integrity episodes, but like he's just a an addicted towel. Obviously, he's gonna hang around the guy that has all the weed. I'm not sure they ever were that great of friends to begin with.
Right.
Like,
It was more like a partnership,
so
wasn't it?
yeah, I'm not even sure if like it's Towlie's like first priority to forgive Randy, because like Randy is just some dude that doesn't have any weed anymore. So why does he care about Randy?
Maybe for putting
Like,
him through all that crap.
maybe I'm forgetting some episode where that shows their deep friendship, but I can't recall that right now.
No.
It's just more like a business relationship.
I think maybe from the perspective that he would just be pissed off that he was put in that situation by Randy. Maybe looking at it from there, but that depends on if Tally really gives a shit, I suppose, about that situation. I suppose that's why I added the question where it's like, what would you do, Florian, if you were Tally?
Yeah, I think if I were Taulia, I wouldn't really care. I mean, Taulia has done similar things to himself. He's a towel after all, like, so this might be not that traumatic for him than it, would
He's
be
a
to like a
fucking towel.
person. But I don't know.
What a stupid
I don't think there
character.
will be. I don't think we need a redemption arc between like Towley and Randy. I don't really care about that aspect so much. I think Towley should just drop in randomly in some episode in the future again, and how he always did.
I
That
do.
also brings me.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I was just gonna say I do love Towelie, but the concept of his character is actually kind of silly. He's just a towel. When you just mentioned
Yeah.
it there, I'm like, holy crap. Yeah, sorry, proceed.
Yeah, because we also had cousin Kyle in that talking point, even though he didn't show up. But I think they are kind of similar characters in that regard, because every other episode, not every other episode, occasionally they just drop in, "Hi, I'm back," and now and I actually think we won't hear from cousin Kyle for like a while. And when we hear from him again, he will just come out of prison, and then it's the joke is obviously, cousin Kyle got out of prison. Hey, I'm back, and then you have basically a reason to have him come in and do something again, because he's now on probation or whatever, and then he can tell stories of what happened to him in prison, obviously with his sensible conditions. So I think we're not gonna get any resolution on cousin Kyle. He'll just be staying in prison until they need him again.
Just to butt in there, has the concept of time been established in such a way that if cousin Kyle comes out in 10 years, he should still look the same and everyone around should look the same? Or would that be part of the joke, you
They
think?
can totally do that. They can totally do that. They
Probably
all
wouldn't
do
it?
the same, and I just did 5 years, and everybody is still 10.
That's hilarious. I think they would do that. Cartoon logic. But nice, I suppose. All in all, I'm happy. What's that?
I was going to say the tone of South Park in general really is in a time warp. It has been for the last 28 years. Just
Right. Yeah.
I mean, one of my favorite jokes they did with Terrence and Phillip is showing them like all old in one of the episodes, where like literally they're like grandpas, because like they're 20 years older, which is even like exaggerated, because like they should be like 25 years older now than in
The fucking grandparents.
compared to the beginning of the show. But like they were literally like old people at some point.
Nice. But yeah,
Most,
go ahead, Sibra. I was just gonna say before we move on. Any final thoughts? But elaborate what you're gonna say.
the most time progression they have shown is when the boys in the episode where the boys went from 3rd grade to 4th grade.
Oh my dude.
I guess, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. Like in our minds, 3rd grade and 4th grade are practically the same, but in that episode, Cartman treated 4th grade as this very very big like change
Yes, they were.
from 3rd grade. Yeah.
They were very nostalgic about 3rd grade suddenly and try to get back in time. Yes.
Like this
Wonderful.
season was weird because we even went a little back in time because Stan went from being 10 to 9.
Did he
So it's
actually?
just-
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
made
Yeah,
that
yeah, but that was a very
continuity error
small
at some
mistake.
point.
Yeah, so this is like, yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, you know what? South Park, Colorado might be one of the best places to live if you want to stay youthful and maybe be a little bit immortal. And, I don't know. I don't know about immortal, but you know what I mean.
I hear that. South Park. Nice, nice. So yeah, even speaking of Stan there, he finally got his house back after what, 7 years? It's a long time, man. I didn't actually consider it in the moment because the timeline I would have been watching South Park was different to how some would have been watching it in real time. So it's actually been 7 years. So right now, go to you, man. What are your thoughts after such a long time?
It was.
Did it hit? Was it good? Did it hit
Well,
good?
Did it hit good? I enjoyed it. It was Christmas, and it gave me that again. Sometimes to do this, they like to try to give a little bit of relief. They've done this since the first Christmas special, a little bit of relief, because hey, it's Christmas. Let's give someone a proper win.
Right.
And it was nice to see this at the end. It was very beautiful. Hold on, my dogs are gonna get a little bit wild. But I don't. How would I word this? Right. This is. I would say that the I'm just trying to word it for my own sake. It's nice for this win for Stan to finally have because he's had a rough time of it. His whole family's had a rough time of it. But yeah, I am happy that he's in the new house. Oh, sorry, the old house
Right.
once again. It really is the iconic image of what I think of the Marshes living in. It was nice and fun when they were, Integrity Farm and all that stuff, but it really just wasn't what my envisionment whenever I saw where the Marshes lived in. It was that little dark greenhouse, and it's nice to see that will be making a return.
It was.
So yeah, I guess the best way to describe it was I shocked and surprised?
But he's just like nice.
No, I just like there was finally someone out there that actually finally was listening to Stan in a way and finally felt the whole thing that he's been wanting for about 7 years, actually.
Yeah, because he didn't want to move initially, did they? None of the mom and Shelly did either. So yeah, this has
Not in
been
the
building for a
slightest.
while. What's that?
Not in the slightest.
Not in the slightest, yeah, man. So yeah, finally back, and I suppose I don't know what South Park fan wouldn't be too happy. Initially, I wasn't, just because I was thinking too much about Satan. I was kind of like, nah, man, not the baby, yada yada yada. But when I've calmed down, I'm like, oh, it's good to Stan to have his house back, man. Welcome back to South Park, I guess. Is that it on that point there, Ryan, or would you like to elaborate before I move to the next person?
Well, I realized I think I was just going on. I can see how that would be. If you're a South Park reactor, of course, you're going to be watching South Park in various ways, and you're going to see this house a lot. So it's not
Yeah.
going to be immediately impactful. The idea of it being like, oh wow, we're back to this house. It's not going to immediately be like, woohoo, we're back together. It's going to be like, oh yeah, okay, I guess. Oh, good, and
Yeah.
then you're just going to end it there.
Yeah, that's why it's more interesting for you guys to answer it, because I think you guys would have watched it when the episodes were coming out, isn't it? In real time. Well,
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. I will say absolutely. What was something I was going to say about this, just to quickly round it up? No, I think I was just gonna say that it was just to reiterate what I said at the beginning. It's just I think it was quite special who it came from. Of course, it was a character who actually also got his own little redemption in this episode. If I don't know if we've even mentioned him at this point, and that being Jesus.
Oh yeah, he
It's the first
did.
time we've actually seen him properly in an episode as his
Dude, he turned pretty
Christian form.
quick.
He did turn quite quick.
He turned quick, man. All it took was a few words from Stan, and he was like, "My son, I have failed you."
Yeah, he was on the edge the entire time. He was like, you just tell. It
Yeah,
seems like
true.
he's still stuck with his girl.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone else,
And
just
I'm just
briefly. Sorry. Well, I forget. It was Tono in the Patreon. He mentioned that it's interesting that Jesus hit rock bottom. What's the name? Peggy Rock Bottom, isn't it? I think.
yes.
And he's hit rock. He hit rock
Forgot
bottom.
about that joke, but no, I do.
I was
He
like,
hit
dude.
rock bottom. I
Yeah.
never hit her. Okay, maybe.
I was like, nice. Fuck, he's a musician, so he picked up on that quite quick.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right.
I will say, literally, but I will say, I just suddenly remembered again. Peggy had a lovely song throughout this episode that I might cover in my spare time.
What about smacking a Christian woman because she deserves it?
A Christian woman knows her place.
Yeah, it was pretty catchy, man. Even Stan singing it at the end, That's funny though.
So go ahead and punch me in the face.
Yeah, interesting you pointed that out, that Jesus is still with Peggy. Interesting. Because she wasn't inherently a bad character, was she? Like, or evil or anything. She just is
She was
very
just Peggy.
just Peggy, man. Nice. Florian, let's jump over to you, bro. What are your thoughts on the Marshies getting their house after so long? I suppose more primarily from Stan's perspective. What are your thoughts, man?
I mean, I was wondering where they were going with it, because obviously the staying in the old folks' home, that's what was a temporary thing. Otherwise, I mean, if they just stuck there for like the next season as well, I think that would just force them to write Grandpa in a lot of the stories, which maybe they don't want to do. But like I thought it was interesting. Why are they moved out of Tegrity and now they basically put the Marshes on hold with the old folks home. So I wasn't sure if they were just gonna return everything to normal like they actually did. My other thought was that they might just send Randy right on the next adventure to basically say, all right, we're done with Tegrity, but no, you're not getting your old South Park back. We're now sending him, and I don't know, he does the next crazy thing, something like that. I was really prepared for them doing that, but like, I think they decided it's better to return South Park back to the classic formula.
Yeah,
which means putting Stan back into his house.
Interesting, because it's interesting you say that, because it kind of looks like they've hit a hard reset on everything, isn't it? Could we say?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, Jesus is back to normal. Stan is back to normal.
Even Satan's back to hell.
Yes, Satan is back to hell. Yeah, a lot of things return to normal.
Fair enough, man. We've got a blank template to work on for the following season, so that's pretty awesome, man.
See, that was also the small point I was wanting to add. Randy now also has his house back, of course. So I kind of feel Randy didn't really learn a lesson in the grander scheme. He didn't really get punished for like putting everybody through all of that. Of course, also the thing with Towelie then. I kind of feel he kind of got lucky here, and I wonder what they are gonna do with Randy, because he obviously needs a new job. I'm not sure if he's just gonna be returning to be a geologist.
I was about to say archaeologist. Yeah, I could see that happening. What is that exactly what he was doing before he went to Tegrity? Exactly, or was he doing Avengers?
I mean, he was also a lord, and
yeah, he was
a country singer for a while, I guess. I mean, they always use him for a lot of different things. But I think
it's been quite a while since he's been a geologist, because I know he basically wanted to wrap all that up so he can basically keep starting his own business ideas. You know, he had the blockbuster video and everything.
I think it was in the
Right, yeah.
streaming episodes where he briefly went there, isn't it?
Yes,
He
yes,
was an
yes.
OnlyFans model.
And OF mode. Oh yeah, that might be even more recent actually. That
Yeah, that was in the specials. In the not suitable for children.
right. Oh my days, bro. That video got blocked so quick. Holy crap, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Anything further to add before I push on to Mr. Sebron here?
Towards that. But I think it might be worth actually squeezing in a little extra point about Jesus after this one. Because I think, yeah, he deserves a little bit more coverage.
Yeah, I suppose we could do in the next talking point. Was it Worthy Christmas?
That's
Special?
what I was like.
Nice. Simran, what are your thoughts, man? Back finally after so long. What are you thinking?
Yes. When Stan opens the door, and as soon as he entered, and we finally got to see the inside of Stan's house again with all the purple walls and just the whole setting of his house. I actually, it was actually a big breath of fresh air to me, probably more than it should have been. Big, I wouldn't say I got goosebumps or anything, because we had seen Stan's house so many freaking times before season 22. So and and like Stan's house is really not that different from pretty much any other kid's house. So but, but still, like, I haven't had an ending to an episode that wholesome and that sweet since the end of the Facebook episodes.
What happened in the when Kip got all the friends? Is it Kip?
Yes,
Kip Glory?
yes. When he got like near 100,000 friends or something.
Yeah.
Like you just felt so happy for him, because he was so heartbroken when Kyle unfriended him, and like in the blink of an eye he got like nearly 100,000 friends, and you could just like feel his joy. And Stan in this scene, he was smiling the whole time. Like the whole time you could see like a giant smile on his face, and it really spoke volumes, because Stan was like Stan missed his house so much for all these years, and now it's finally got back. And I think it's really fitting that Stan was the only one like in this scene, and like not the rest of his family, because Stan missed it way more than anyone else.
What, the
His
house?
family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose he
Yeah.
was so far from his friends and everything, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. And yeah, I agree with Florian. I don't think Stan staying in the old people's building would have worked, because that would have meant would have got we would have been bound to get many Grandpa Marsh episodes. And
Yo, hold on.
Kind of cutting out.
they're not bad anything in general,
Hold
but
on.
if we would get a
Hello?
can you hear me?
Yeah, just
Hello?
go back a few sentences. You kind of just cut out there.
Okay. Okay, yeah, it also appeared on my end. Okay,
For
so what
reference,
was I saying?
it was
Okay,
when you said about when you were just about to bring up them and the old folks home.
Thank you, Ryan.
yes, okay, I'll repeat. Yeah, so I don't think it would have been a good move if if Stan wouldn't have got his house back by the end of the season, because that would have meant that season 29 probably would have been a Grandpa Marsh season primarily, just like we got a essentially an entire season dedicated to Haggerty Farms. And I'm not saying Grandpa Marsh is not an enjoyable character. He has definitely had his many shining moments,
Yeah.
but I th- I do think that this was a very amazing way to end the season. And what makes this even more wholesome for me is So Stan and Jesus, like throughout many sparring episodes throughout the show, like Stan and Jesus were really good friends in many episodes. There were many episodes where Stan like rooted more for Jesus than anyone else, and there were also many episodes where Stan and Jesus were a great duo, like in the episode A Scars for Applause. So and the few interactions that Stan and Jesus had in the I think it was only the season premiere of season 27, so the very first episodes, where Stan was mad that Jesus sat at his lunch table, even though Stan didn't want him to sit there. So it almost kind of felt like all those healthy relationship episodes between Stan and Jesus, it's almost like they didn't even happen because of how salty Stan was that he wouldn't even like want Jesus to sit at their table. But because of the very last minute of this episode, I was very satisfied that um that the great bond between Stan and Jesus, it's like it showed that it wasn't in vain, and that Stan and Jesus are still like great friends, because Jesus might have just given Stan the best gifts Stan could have been given.
100%. And it probably is the biggest thing Stan would have wanted as well, isn't it? So yeah, I'm sure
Yes, more than anything else.
Stan is happy, very happy. And it's contrasting him and Satan. On one hand, you've got a very happy Stan, and on another, you've got a very disappointed Satan, sorry. Interesting storytelling that I suppose maybe that was done on purpose, just for the contrast. But good way to wrap up both of their stories, I suppose. Maybe that's subjective, but they wrapped them up nevertheless. So Stan's back. Looked like we're gonna have some more, hopefully, classic adventures coming forward. Interesting to see if that's the case, but yeah, Stan's back in his crib, man. He's back. And with that being said, it moves us to one of our last two questions to ask: was it a worthy Christmas special? I think we asked a similar question with the Thanksgiving special. So Ryan,
And
go ahead and take it away.
Halloween.
I thought we should insert a few more
Oh
points
yeah, we're
about
gonna
Jesus, or at least I have
we,
one.
we missed our point for Jesus because we're like, well, because I sort of remembered, and also Florian remembered. Actually, we should probably have talked about Jesus at some point in this discussion, so maybe we should.
Yeah, I was gonna, because Florian mentioned it in the last talking point. I said we would just include it within this talking point here.
All right,
So,
all right.
yeah, if we could just go ahead and was it a worthy Christmas special? And then obviously you can elaborate on
Worthy
certain things.
Christmas special. Well, sure. I don't know. I've never been the one to determine what I think is and isn't worthy of it being a Christmas special or a Halloween special or a Thanksgiving one. It's never been my go-to. I think it was good enough for me.
Right. It's in comparison to the
As
others,
much
I
as I think
suppose.
that's a good point. I would say I'm trying to remind myself some previous Christmas specials. It's by no means my favorite
Mhm.
because I already know what my favorite is. And it's Woodland Christmas Critters one.
Tough one to beat.
Absolutely. But I will say, and they were in this one. But what I will say is, yeah,
Who's got the thing?
it's both. As I said, it's both a Christmas special in the same sense, but it's also trying to be a season finale. So it's in a way trying to tie up loose ends. So it's trying to coincide with that, and
Many Christmas specials have also been season finales because
sure. Well,
because
the one I mentioned before was, I believe.
because usually like it's one season per year, and and like
He did.
naturally the very last episode of a season would be like near the end of the year. So hence
This guy
it's
this
often
guy
bound to
just
be a
nerd
Christmas
emoji.
special.
Sorry, what?
Okay. This guy just nerd emojied me. He built a well, actually. But no, I agree.
Yeah.
Um,
Actually, yeah. Okay, I'm kidding.
but what I was gonna say was what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, sure. My input on whether or not this was a worthy Christmas special is it's just going to be a big sure. I'm sure other people can elaborate on to why it is or isn't than myself, but I was fine with it. I liked the direction it went in. I suppose you could argue it wasn't very Christmas. It wasn't really Christmas orientated, actually. Thinking about it, Everyone wasn't talking about
Yeah,
Christmas.
it was just the
It wasn't like
decorations and Trump's
And the
costume,
songs.
really.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and
It
then
wasn't like
Satan's song as well, actually.
yeah.
Peggy's
That's the
song.
I
only.
suppose it was.
That is it. That is it. That really was the only thing. Was like, oh, it's Christmas time. Is Satan? Everything else, nobody else cares. No one else cares. Everyone else has their own thing going on for them, and they don't care about Christmas.
What really usually makes it across South Park Christmas special? Is it Mr. Hankey showing up in Santa? Or is that when it solidifies it? Like, what extent are we doing here?
I suppose you could. Sure.
That's-
I guess. I mean, maybe it's just. You could argue. You could say the same about the Thanksgiving one we've had. You could say the same about the Halloween one we've
Yeah,
had, where it's like
100%.
they're not focusing on Halloween. They're not focusing on Thanksgiving.
That's literally what we
Halloween
said. That's funny.
Yeah, so maybe this is just another one of these, but I don't know. It's a little like I said about the turkey trot episode. I find this less egregious than the woman in the hat,
Right.
which I was just not feeling.
Yeah, that one wasn't too much of a Halloween special. It just had elements, I guess.
It had a few
Fascinating.
movie references.
Yeah. And before we move on to Florian, Ryan, did you have anything you wanted to elaborate on with Jesus? I don't have a specific question in mind, but is there something you might have wanted to point out?
Jesus, I would say he well, I already had sort of said what I basically wanted to say about him, that being it was nice because we didn't really get a true idea of what his new character was going to be like. Just a little clip at the end of and so we got of the Twisted Christian, and so we got to see a bit more of what he was like. Other than I just felt like he didn't have it in his heart. He was very clear he didn't really
It
want to
wasn't
do this.
about
He was
that
just
life.
trying to follow the trend. He was just doing it because like, look, just go with it. It's easier. That's sort of the thing he was going at with this until eventually he was like, "What am I doing? I don't need to be doing this."
He was a pretender.
Hmm. So yeah, I think it was. I'm fine. I'm fine with Jesus immediately reverting back. I could argue that it was a cop out, a
Mhm.
crap out, but I'm fine with it because I prefer Jesus being a positive influence in South Park rather than a negative one.
Yeah. Again, he also got his conclusion. So many conclusions. I mean, I suppose we did mention it was a hard reset, but fascinating, man, fascinating. Florian, we'll push over to yourself. In your eyes, was it a worthy Christmas special? Are you satisfied?
I mean, yeah, like Ryan said, the themed specials this season didn't really, feel like a Christmas episode or like a Halloween episode. Really, it was just an episode that had like the theme thrown in because
Time of the year.
yeah, it basically we get a couple of Christmas songs. I mean the song by Peggy Rockbottom, not very Christmassy in the lyrics, but I think the music kind of fits a Christmas song.
Right.
It might even be a parody of one. I'm not quite sure which song it's.
So I pose the question to yourself as well. In your eyes, what would make it more Christmassy? Is it the inclusion of Mr. Hankey and Santa or other elements?
I mean, it's basically when the entire storyline is actually focused on like Christmas. For example, Christmas in Canada, um, when they have to get back in time for presents. It's all about like getting presents about Christmas, but like they have to rescue the little brother, so they basically spend all the time in Canada. But like I think that the grand scheme of the grand theme of the episode is always Christmas. Same with
Right.
Woodland Critters. We have the Christmas song special with Mr. Hankey, which is obviously just Christmas songs.
Mhm.
Yeah, but they are entirely Christmas focused usually.
That makes a lot
In
of
this
sense.
episode, like Christmas is just like a yeah, sure, it is Christmas, and that's why Trump is wearing the Santa costume, and people have decorations up. But other than that, and other than I think the only really, I think the most, the scene that actually makes it a little bit of a Christmas episode is the last one, when Stan finds his Christmassy decorated house as a Christmas miracle.
Yeah.
I guess that was sort of the only scene that felt like, oh yeah, it's Christmas actually, and like it also had the feeling because obviously Stan got a great present.
Yeah. No, 100%. 100%.
But yeah, other than that, I thought no, I didn't. I won't remember that as a Christmas special or a Christmas episode even. Just like I don't remember the Women in a Hat as a Halloween episode. It's just like, oh yeah, if you watch it right, it was Halloween at the time, I guess.
I get it. Yeah.
But no, yeah.
I think I share the same perspective, to be fair. And in respect to what you wanted to mention earlier about Jesus, do you still have the train of thought?
Oh yeah. I mean, generally, I think we covered that he changed his tune really quickly. A little talk from Stan, and he flipped back to normal, which I think I guess I like it. I like it that he is back to normal, but I think it was done in a very unsatisfying way.
Right.
Also, what Ryan mentioned is that he basically only had that we didn't even get to see his changed personality a lot. So a little bit of unexplored. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. I think Jesus's arc here in this over this season wasn't especially great. However, what I do like is the kind of like the Peggy rock bottom joke, and like he hit rock bottom literally and figuratively. And also, but yeah, the main point I was still bring up, and I think maybe Ryan can help me there. What the hell is up with Jesus suddenly playing guitar? Like, what
America,
does
man.
Sure, but
I
like, is there a deeper connection for like the power crystal thing with the guitar, and then of course the guitar teleporting power, and like the guitar door opening power? What the hell is up with that?
I
Like,
think
I like that
any
that's
you.
some
any thoughts
I
on
like
that?
that you went to me
I mean,
with that, as if Ryan will know this.
that's some Jesus shit right there, bro.
I mean, yeah, you have a guitar. I mean,
I have a guitar.
obviously you
That's
know about that stuff.
I was gonna say that's racist. No, what I was gonna say was I have no clue other than yeah, it just goes with the whole fact that he's trying Christians. At least it just goes with the whole image of him being like, hey, I'm cool,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
a bro. I feel like that's the best. Every time I'm gonna speak, I'm gonna play a really shitty chord. That's just sort of his thing. If there was a reference in there, by the way, I flew over my head. I'm sure if there is one, I'm gonna wait until a few other more eagle-eyed viewers out there might get that. That'd be great. But I saw it nothing more than just his overall
Right.
image of being.
Yeah, that's my thought as well. I thought there might be a reference. Like, is there some super Christian rock star that is like, I mean, they did a Kid Rock reference early in the season, but I don't think it was that. And like, yeah, then suddenly the guitar superpowers just like took me a little bit by surprise. But what the hell is that? I mean, yeah, maybe it's a little bit of a crap out again. They just needed like a way to get them to another scene. I don't know. It just seems that was like the weirdest most random joke in the episode was like Jesus teleporting them away with the power of guitar. Yeah, I
think
thought that was really strange.
that's just some Jesus stuff. I think he's Jesus after all, so he does have powers. I suppose you could.
No, he doesn't.
Does he not?
He only has only has powers in death. They told us that in the in the Easter episode, the Easter special.
In death, you said.
Yes, you can kill Jesus and then he can resurrect.
Is he not dead now though?
I mean, no. Yeah, that ending is also weird. Like, why is he showing up in the stars? Yeah, he's not dead. And like, even if he's dead, like he can just come back. That's literally his only power. At least it was
No,
canonically so far.
I mean, even him in his physical manifestation, is he not dead then? In the sense that he's got the halo and stuff. Or is that him alive? I don't even know.
Have you not seen the Easter special episode?
I guess I haven't.
Yeah.
No, 'cause I thought I'd seen him use
Okay.
powers before.
Then maybe I shouldn't spoil it. But like, yeah, you can very much kill the Jesus in his current form. And yeah, his only power canonically is that he can resurrect.
Really? Jeez. I always
Yes.
thought he could do cool
I
shit.
mean,
If I not
he's also a pretty good thrower of shuriken, I guess. But I'm not sure if that is a superpower. That's just a skill.
all right. So I'm guessing we haven't seen Jesus do any other stuff like this. Then I suppose that's why you'd raise the question, isn't it?
I mean, we kind of have, but yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it.
Well, Jesus knows
He's also good with weapons.
Jesus knows the magic trick to turn water into wine, and his way to pull off that magic trick is very, very clever. And yes,
Turn
I'm being
around.
sarcastic.
Turn
Yes,
around.
turn around.
That's funny as fuck. Nice.
They have established previously that he doesn't actually have powers, like not even the water to wine thing. Like it was just a trick. A
Oh
very bad trick.
wow. That's very interesting, that question. Then I wonder what the explanation is if they do decide to reveal it. But yeah. Before I move on to Sibrin to ask the same question, anything you want to add further, Florian?
No, I think if there's nothing more to like the guitar Jesus thing, then yeah, I thought it was an interesting
Nice.
development, and the first time we see Jesus with proper powers, I guess.
Yeah, even I'm intrigued now. So yeah, we'll go ahead and move on to yourself, Sibrin, bro. In your eyes, was it a worthy Christmas special? What do you think?
Before I give my opinion straight away, I'm going to I made a tier list of the Christmas specials of South Park throughout the show, and I'm going to share it. And then the new episodes also appears in the tier lists. I'm going to get the image. I hopefully I can find it easily. Oh, okay. That's okay. So yeah, like obviously there are wait, it's loading. Okay. Obviously there are many arguments like what defines a Christmas episode, what doesn't, but generally all these episodes are like you can agree they are Christmas enough to be Christmas episodes. Like not like some of them aren't necessarily all Christmas themed, but like still enough agreeably. So if you look at it, yeah, so I agree that Woodland Critters is by far the best. Like I don't think anything beats it. And as you can see, I put the newest episodes. I think it was pretty solid. I wouldn't say very solid. Like the episodes still had like some things to it that like either weren't finished or that didn't make a ton of sense. Like how Jesus suddenly switched sides because of one sentence that Stan said that and it was also like a pretty simple sentence and yet Jesus just suddenly switched sides. But you can see here that I still put it in B tier. Yes. Because like the ending was really the star of the episode, but like the inclusion of the Woodland Critters was also very very decent, and the way that Satan is like very pissed off at Trump for like especially how badly Satan got cheated on after he found out that Trump having sex with Vance wasn't AI, it wasn't Sora, it was real. Towelie confirmed it.
Right.
Yeah, and so like also if you look at this tier list, you can like see that Christmas episodes are so throughout South Park they have kind of been hit or miss because about half of them are in C tier and other half is in B tier with one of them being S tier. So I think this episode it's although it could have been better. It could have like delivered harder and more creatively. I definitely don't think it was too shabby. And when you'll hear my ranking of the episodes later on, you'll see that I'll rate this episode pretty highly, despite the fact that it's only a B tier episode in the grand scheme.
Mhm. Yeah, I think overall it was actually a good episode. I think obviously it rounded up a lot of things. So aside from it being a Christmas special, I think it was pretty good. But sorry to cut in there. If you could proceed, if you have more.
Mm, mm, I like ano- another reason why I think the episode like the ending of the episode was so like why it was such a big cherry on top was because when I was watching the episodes, I didn't really remember the Stan still not having his house back. I think most of us were too what's the word I'm looking for? We
Well, accustomed.
we
You
no. We were feeling like very sorry for Satan that
yeah,
like
bro. That was me.
yeah. Uh, many of us, I think most of us. so so we kind of forgot that like episode is almost over and they still didn't conclude Stan like hopefully getting his house back.
Mhm.
And but by the very last like the last minutes or like 2 minutes of the episodes, like Stan got a letter, and as soon as Jesus wrote in it, "Go to this address," it was pretty. It was kind of obvious where it was leading to. Maybe Jesus would have prepared like not Stan's old house, but like a new house that's still like way better than the Decorative Farm or the old people's home. But no, it was Stan's house himself, and and maybe I'm interpreting it, but Stan he took the key out of the letter, but we didn't see Stan unlock the front door. He just instantly opened the front door. He didn't actually use the key. Like, am I? Yeah, okay. I think Florian is about to answer my question by showing it.
I mean, he's showing the key. I'm not sure if he's actually shown using it.
Yeah, no, I don't
But
think he
he's
did.
Looks at the key now. Yeah.
Unless
It kind of
unless I
makes it
was too
look like,
fast.
oh, this
yeah,
is
it was already open. Yeah.
He just bro just walks in. It's funny
my
as
brain
fuck.
for some reason looks at this and it looks like it's saying, "Oh, this is Stan's house." No, not his parents' house. Even though it's the way it looks, which would be even cooler. But yeah,
I hope they have a scene where he surprises the parents and Shelly. And we got our house back. We got our house back.
are they just gonna take this for granted? Are they just gonna be like, "Oh, I guess we're here now"? Or are they
Yeah.
gonna be like, "Whoa"?
They just spawn back. Yeah, I want a reaction of them being back. Especially like the mom and Shelly. Oh my god, it's been so long. That would be nice.
And obviously Randy would probably be a bit of a man-child about it. Like, I like that. I liked the Decorative Farm so much better. Like, we're back
Maybe.
to this old house, and then Sharon would probably be all like, Randy, would you rather live here or back at Grandpa? And then Randy would be all like, here, I guess.
I hope he's grateful at least. I really do. I suppose it was his idea that they moved away anyway. But interesting, man. So what? It was worthy Chris. Oh, you put it in the B tier, isn't it? So
Yes,
it was
yes.
still good,
So
isn't it? Still
I
good.
think okay. So I think so in the context of season 27 and season 28, I think it's I'm more than happy with it. I was really satisfied with how this episode turned out, but I also wouldn't say it's. I mean, technically, it's still, in my opinion, the fourth best Christmas episode out of 11 Christmas episodes. So I think by that, so by that logic, it's actually Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say like great or very good, but good, like just good.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Well, we've got one more question left, and yeah, this is the season finale, so we're just gonna go through everyone, and we're gonna see where they stand with the season essentially, and we can do a top five because we did a top five for season 27, so we'll do one for season 28, and then obviously we can put those two together, whoever's listening or whatever. So Florian, I'm gonna go to you, and you can kick it off, man. What are your ranking of the, if you can recall anyway, of the 5 episodes of season 28, and from that we'll obviously figure out what your favorite and least favorite is. So if you could take it away, my friend.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the episode list. I mean, the Sora Not Sorry episode was pretty good. I think I rated that quite highly.
I think we all did, to be
And I
fair,
think
man.
it might still be my favorite episode of this 5 episode season now.
Are you able to go in order by any chance? Starting from your least to your
Actually,
favorite?
I hardly remember the first two right now, so I'm not gonna order all of them.
That's
But
what I was thinking as well for myself.
I think this might probably the second best one, just due to the fact that I can't really remember the first two ones that much. I guess yeah, the Pam Bondi's thing was funny. The 6-7 one was a little bit annoying.
6-7 was
Yeah.
Twisted Christian, wasn't it? And
Yes,
then the woman in the hat.
The introduction of Peter Thiel too.
Yeah, I think that's probably it. Was one. Yeah, so I guess okay, I can just rank them. So I guess Sora Not Sorry is the best one, then Crap Out, then Turkey Trot, then the Woman in the Hat, and then Twisted Christian. But I might have said something else in the past. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, I thought this episode was decent, and it was a decent season finale. It tied up a lot of the stories, not quite all of them, but it gives us a decent starting point for like a new season.
Yeah.
Maybe with less Trump.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if it will be entirely without Trump, but
Yeah, well, that'll be interesting, isn't it?
yeah, maybe they can find a setting around the find a storyline around the more traditional settings in South Park. With Stan back in the city, yeah, in the town basically.
Right, nice.
Kind of like
It was decent. I like it.
Yeah. Kind of like how season 20, so season 20 was when Donald Trump was elected for president for the first time, and that season, like a big chunk of it revolved around Garrison Trump, and no, yeah, and so the few seasons afterwards, after season 20, like Trump was still in office, so obviously President Garrison like still was in office in the show, and in the so like a few seasons after season 20, President Garrison, he still made some appearances here and there, like in a few episodes he still appeared or played a bit of a role, but in most of them he wasn't, and it just focused on the main folks of the town. So I can imagine they would do the same here, so that like the past 2 seasons revolved a lot around Trump, especially since the election was like only a year ago. Yeah, I know, like in this context, that's not that long, I guess. But I would also imagine that in the next few seasons, that when Trump will still be in office, I think they'll sometimes have maybe some episodes about Saddam Trump, but definitely way fewer than these past 10 episodes. That's a verifiable fact.
All right.
Let's hope so. I guess a lot of people will.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, man. I've just put the image in the group chat just so it's easier for you guys to recall. If you don't from the top of your head, the episodes. So I'll come to you, Ryan, and then we'll finish off with you, Sibrin. By the way,
By the way,
I I agree with Florian's list. I think I would only swap Twisted Christian and the Woman in the Hat. Maybe, maybe because it was cool seeing Cousin Cow as well. But more or less, I agree with that list and would be mine as well. But Ryan, what's your top 5 for season 28, man?
Oh, top 5 of season 28. Oh, I'm so giddy that people want me to rank episodes again. Sarcasm, not my sort of thing. I will say, oh, right, let me think. Top 5 of season 28. I would probably have to say, well, Twisted Christian's at the bottom of the list for me. Oh, is it? Yeah. I think, Sorry Not Sorry. So, okay, alright. Top to bottom, so the best to worst for me would be Sorry Not Sorry.
That was crazy, that episode.
Indeed it was. It just it resonated. It was good because we just had 2 crappers of an episode as far as I was concerned, and we just like finally a little
Yeah,
bit of
that
fun.
might be part of it.
So that might be why. So that's top of my list. Second best, I don't know. It's either Turkey Trot or A Crap Out. Which one did I like more? I'm trying to remember a lot of the elements of that. I think I might have liked the Turkey Trot, but did I like the Turkey Trot more? Am I putting Crap Out in the middle of the season of season 28? Oh, I don't know. This is why I don't rank. It's just too. It's either it really is a toss up between those two because I know that my next 2 worst is A Woman in a Hat and Twisted Christian. That's how I would order it. So the top of it is Sorry
Yes.
Not Sorry, the bottom's Twisted Christian, and of course Woman in the Hat is second from worst, and then Turkey Trot and Crappy Christmas can be a little bit interchangeable to me. Although to be honest, I might have a different answer the next time you talk to me. As soon as I give a little bit of a rewatch.
Yeah, it's true. That's the only difficulty is trying to recall what happened previously, and I suppose you can't really be accurate in that. It's I don't know. It's all perspective, I guess.
One thing I think would be a cool thing to reflect on is how the show and how South Park and how the little world that has been created has changed since the beginning of season 27 to the end of season 28, because we like to include the 2 of them as the same thing. So what the big things that have changed? Like, okay, well, what has changed? Well, Mr. Mackey lost his job. I'm trying to think of some other things. There's lots of things, and I'm just.
I mean,
my
PC
brain is
Principle is
out.
still Power Christian.
There's been a lot of
PC
things
Word
Principle,
chat,
actually.
yeah.
Power
Or we
Christian
haven't seen it at least.
Principle. Mackey lost his job. So these are like cool things we can reflect on since it's sort of a finale. To be like, how has this little world changed since we started getting into this ever since Sermon of the Mount when we were like, woohoo, South Park is back.
For now, Jesus is also still the counselor. I mean, he might be like back to his normal self, but he's still the counselor.
Indeed. And so I think these are interesting things to look at. That was another one I had in my mind. I'm trying to remember what it was. Of course, the big one, of course. The Marsh residents. The very beginning of this, we had the dying days of Tegrity.
It's done and dusted. Back to normality. So there's still a few, like you said, power Christ. I actually hadn't even thought of that. So I wonder how that's going to be handled now. Is he back to his PC ways, politically correct ways, PC principles?
I feel like that's not going to happen.
Strong woman.
Society and our life changes.
What about strong woman? Holy crap! I wonder if she's still the same. But I guess they'll answer this in due time.
I doubt that strong woman will be physically the same anytime soon. But hey, maybe
Never know. Huh?
maybe they'll like bring strong woman back to her original physical self, like just like that, without with making it like
That was weird seeing it like that.
Yes.
Fascinating. But yeah, we'll go ahead and move on to yourself. I was supposed to call you Florian Sibrin. Sibrin, what is your top 5 for this season, mate?
Well, I don't mean to brag, but I prepared for this.
A presentation.
Of course you
And
did.
yeah, and I know you asked me my top 5, like my ranking of this season specifically, but I actually ranked all the past 10 episodes because they like the past 10 episodes have been one season in terms of in terms of story. So I made
Okay.
the ranking of the of all of the 10 episodes.
All right. Okay. I mean, we're nearing 2 hours here, but if you could briefly just let us know your top
Okay.
10, then.
I'll post it in the chat and like
I mean, you can share it. You could just go and list the episodes if you can, if that's all right.
yeah, I already posted it. So okay, so I'll just say them. So number 10 is the 6-7 episode. I think
Damn.
pretty unanimous that this is
Mr.
the
Christian.
the lowest low. I think it's pretty unanimous that like the 6-7 episode is the lowest low of all these episodes. Like especially like the 6-7
Okay.
plotline is just the epitome of lazy modern South Park writing. Yeah, not that good. And then number 9, so the Halloween episodes. And then number 8, the Deckard episode, which might be like a tiny bit of a hot take, but it just
But the
didn't
Ket episode,
really do it for me. Huh?
yeah, the ketamine episode, I think that was low on
Yeah,
mine.
yeah, that one. And then number 7, the Palestine episodes. Not like not bad. It had its funny moments, but also I felt like the next 6 episodes were just better. And then number 6, the Thanksgiving episode. This is where the episodes start to get good. And then number 5, the Sora episodes. I liked the Sora plotline personally relatively more than the B plot with Trump and Vance like having sex, but that's just me. And then number 4, the Labubu episode. I think Florian mentioned that he's not that keen on this episode, but me personally, I think the Labubu plot line was actually really decent and solid, and I actually really found the is Trump fucking Satan plotline to be actually quite funny. Like I actually found that one to be fun to watch. And then number 3, so this episode, I I kind of wanted to place this episode higher, but yeah, like this episode we just talked about, it had some it has its flaws, mainly plot lines throughout the season that still haven't been resolved, and that probably should have been resolved, but like we are still left with a cliffhanger with some, you know, things. And then number 2, I have the Sermon on the Mount. So I originally said that this was my favorite episode in multiple of the rankings, but I think that was mainly due to that this was mostly season premiere bias. Like we were all very amazingly pleasantly got off guard when we saw that the new president in the South Park universe is Saddam Trump. I think we all like really just we were very thrilled, and and like in this episode, the Trump dick jokes were still tasteful, like a bit weird, but still
Yeah,
like
bro.
pretty tasteful. And but obviously, as it progressed, it just kind of kept getting repetitive. So in
Right.
this episode, when this episode came out, it was still funny, but yeah, like that's not it's not the fault of this episode necessarily completely. And then my favorite episode actually would have to be the Master Debater episodes. I think um the s- the spoof on Charlie Kirk they did was really funny. Like, and the B plot with Mr. Mackey becoming a member of ICE and like the constant nuts
Gotta get my
jokes
nuts.
were yeah yeah. I I thought those were really good, and in my opinion, Christy Noam had, in my opinion, the perhaps the funniest celebrity portrayal out of all the dozens of. No, not dozens, but definitely a big amount of celebrities that they have done in these past 10 episodes. I think Kirsi Noam was was kind of the funniest one with how her face just constantly melted. So
Nice, man. It's a pretty solid list. I think some people maybe will look at it and think sideways, some, but I think we're all different, innit? I didn't expect to see the Master Debater one on there, but it was a solid episode. Nice
That
one.
was my dog's favorite episode.
It's your dog's favorite episode. Is that what you just said?
Least favorite episode.
Oh. If anyone's curious for Sibring's least favorite and favorite for season 28, his least favorite is the 6-7 episode, and his favorite was the most recent, the Christmas episode. So nice. Thank you for sharing your list there, Sibring, man. I can tell you definitely put some thought into it. Nice. Season 20. There's not been an announcement for season 29, has there?
No.
We're what?
That it will exist.
They've got the
I don't think there's a date on it.
There's no date, is there? It's only a 5-season deal with Paramount as well, right?
No, it was. We got 50 more episodes, and that was 10 per season. For some reason, we now got 5 and 5, but like we're still
50.
gonna get 50 episodes, I presume.
Holy
50.
crap.
No,
Damn.
40 more.
42 God, dude, there's a lot of content
Which,
coming.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it might be 8 seasons for all we know. It
Could
might
be
be
in
10.
it.
I don't know what the hell? Who knows anymore?
What's going on? You know what?
We were supposed to get 5 seasons. Now we already got 2.
What was the point in separating the seasons? Like,
I
does that
don't
make a
know.
difference? It didn't make a difference, did it? Like, to anyone?
No, it didn't.
What the hell?
I'm still as lost as I was the first time, to be honest.
It's strange. But guys,
Wait. I made this assumption in a previous podcast, but maybe like the reason for why they split the season in two was sort of for a compensation, because we like between season 27 and season 20 but between season 26 and season 27 there was a 1 year 4 month like gap.
Yeah,
So maybe because that gap was so big, like way bigger than between any other seasons, maybe that's why they
what?
wanted to like make
wait.
up for it for like making this 2 seasons. It's weird.
Wait, did you say there was a gap between 26 and 27?
Yes.
Okay. I mean,
like,
what
usually-
difference does that make?
Usually we don't wait that long for another season to come out, but this one was exceptionally long. Yeah.
Man, I don't
Yeah,
know.
there was basically no regular episode in 2024 at
Right.
all.
Yes.
Only specials.
That's bullshit. I don't think. I suppose none of us know the real reason why they split the 2 seasons, but if that's the reason they did it, I don't even know if that makes any sense, to be honest.
It does make sense, but whether or not it's a good idea,
Right. I think
together.
that's more what I'm thinking. Who knows? But South Park season 28, it kind of seems like we're all a bit satisfied here. Are we satisfied, guys? Before just well, I truly wrap this up. Are we satisfied where we are at the moment with South Park?
I could have had a little more gravy. I could have had a little more salt, but I'm full.
I think that's perfect. That's actually perfect. Could have had a little bit more gravy, a bit more salt to the dish, but you know, it was still serviceable. Serviceable. So fair enough.
I wouldn't say it was among South Park's best seasons of all time. That
Absolutely
would be
not.
big exaggeration, but like many of South Park's least good seasons are still really good on their own. Like
Right.
really.
Fair enough, man. But yeah, guys, that wraps up the season 28 discussions. I think we might be on par with our longest discussion. We've just hit 2 hours now. 2 hours discussing. You see the passion, guys. I hope you feel the passion. But yeah, it's been.
I just wanted to conclude by saying something before you do your wind out. Just in
I was there,
so
bro. I was so close. Go ahead.
I'm gonna reel you back in just for a moment, just to talk to the viewers of anyone who had been listening to us for this time. It's very happy and thankful that this has in any way been you've enjoyed this at all. And as of the time of this release, I just hope I'm going to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever it may be.
Oh.
Right now.
So thoughtful.
Nice one, Ryan. Now that's why we have good people on the podcast, thoughtful people. Thank you for that, Ryan, man. Shout out to you. Nice. And I'm sure I was gonna make a joke, but I just won't. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me, guys. Always respect your time and attention. And we'll be back again in season 29. You know, same place, same time. And until then, take it easy and peace.